I'm delighted to see everybody here today. And the number one reason I'm delighted is because this speech is for you. I have traveled the world and I've spoken about Bitcoin, and I've told countries why they needed Bitcoin, and I've told institutional investors why they needed Bitcoin, and I've told boardrooms and companies and CEOs why they need Bitcoin. And I've spoken to the disembodied spirits about why our children's children need Bitcoin. But my presentation today is directed at the 8 billion people on the planet. It's the 21 ways to wealth for every individual, every family, every small business, every entrepreneur. Is not for the billion-dollar public companies, it's for everybody. And I focused for quite a while on that. So this is for you. The 21 ways to wealth. The first way to wealth, clarity. Clarity is the topic. And that clarity of mind comes when you realize that Bitcoin is capital, perfected capital, programmable capital, incorruptible capital. The significance of that is every smart person, every thoughtful individual everywhere in the world is going to want perfected capital. Every one of your enemies is going to want incorruptible capital. And all of the AIs are going to want programmable capital. The demand for this is huge. What's it worth? It's worth half of everything. Half of everything. The second way to wealth, conviction. It starts with the observation that Bitcoin is going to appreciate faster than every other asset because it is engineered to outperform. It's going to grow faster than the S&P. It's going to appreciate faster than gold. Sorry, Peter. I should say that again. It's going to go faster than gold. Sorry, Peter. It's going to grow faster than real estate or collectibles or anything else you can imagine because it was engineered that way. And that leads us to our third way to wealth. If you're going to generate wealth, if you're going to get rich on Bitcoin, you're going to need courage. And courage means wealth favors those who embrace intelligent monetary risk. Satoshi started a fire in cyberspace. And while the fearful run from it and fools dance around it, the faithful feed the flame, dreaming of a better world bathed in the warm glow of cyberlight. What does that mean? It means that a lot of people that look at Bitcoin are going to be afraid of it. They'll never touch it. They'll never benefit from it. They'll be left behind. Then others will just juggle it. They will juggle the fire. They will make fireworks with the fire. They will create trinkets with the fire. They will create magic tricks with the fire. But those that truly understand it will feed the fire. How do you feed the fire? You feed the fire by buying the Bitcoin. Buy it, take your fiat currency, trade it for Bitcoin. Take your long-term capital, trade it for Bitcoin. Sell your bonds, trade for Bitcoin. Sell your inferior equity, sell your inferior real estate property, buy Bitcoin. Feed the fire. And what will come of that? An extraordinary explosion in the network, in the power of the network. And you will have bought your ticket to prosperity. The fourth way to wealth is cooperation. And this is very important. You're more powerful not as an individual, but with the support of your family, with your family aligned around this. If you understand Bitcoin, you can act as an individual, but when your entire family understands Bitcoin, you're much more powerful. Your parents, they have credit, they have capital. You have capability, you have conviction, you may have courage. Your children, they have time, they have potential. Your 80-year-old grandfather can draw down capital from an IRA, can borrow money from a bank, has a portfolio. The secret is transfer that capital into the hands of the child. The child's got 80 years ahead of them, right? When you think in terms of how do I actually transfer money, transfer capital from the past and turn it into money for the future, it's a generational thing. So think about the family. Families that work together are extraordinarily powerful on this journey. The fifth way to wealth in this day and age is capability. And here I could list all sorts of technologies for you to master, and I thought about it. But at the end of the day, the overarching compelling observation is you need to master artificial intelligence if you would be wealthy. When in this day and age, in the year 2025, you have at your fingertips an array of accountants. You have a group of lawyers. You have a set of professors, historians. You have at your fingertips all the collective wisdom of every great entrepreneur. You have everything that I know, everything that any other CE knows. All you have to do is go to the AI, put it in deep think mode, plug in all of your circumstances, all of your hopes, all your aspirations, all of your problems, and then start to query it and then engage with it. I tell all my executives, before you ask a lawyer, before you ask a banker, before you ask any expert, go to the AI, ask the AI, make it think. Grind the silicon overlord. Okay, this is very important because many of the suggestions I'll give you next, they were out of the reach of the working man. They were out of the reach of the middle class. You could say, yeah, those sophisticated trusts or those sophisticated legal constructs, that's great, but I don't have the money for that. I can't afford to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on lawyers. And let me tell you a secret. I have dozens of lawyers that work for me, thousands of lawyers I've employed, spent hundreds of millions of dollars on lawyers. The first thing I do when I have a question is I go and ask the AI. After I do that, I argue with it. It tells me no, I ask a different way, I threaten it. I ask it to give me a solution. I find a 95% solution, I find the solution, and then I take that solution, I send the link to my management team and my lawyers, and I say, look, I solved the problem, this is what I want to do. Give me your execution plan, and then I give them anywhere from 2 to 5 days. If you're feeling charitable, give them 5 days. If you're in a hurry, give them 2 days. If your financial advisors, if your accountants, if your lawyers, if your executives can't, if anybody, your friends, your family, if they can't figure it out in 2 to 4 days, they're going to get exited from the gene pool. Change the lawyer. Change the whatever. If someone said, I can't use the telephone, I can't figure out the web link, you sent me a book, but I can't read, you would find someone else to work with. This is very important. You know, the path to wealth is through capability, but 2025 is the year where every one of you became not a super genius, Every one of you is collectively 100 super geniuses that have read everything the human race has published. If you have the humility to ask for help from the AI, don't put your ego first, put your interest first. Your family will thank you in years to come. The sixth way to wealth is composition. Construct the legal entities that scale your strategy and protect your assets. What do I mean by that? I mean that you can go and borrow money against your 401k, and maybe you can make an investment in an IRA, and maybe you can construct an efficient insurance policy. Perhaps you're going to want to put together a dynasty trust in Florida that's good for 300 years. But you may find that you want the timeless dynasty trust out of South Dakota that lasts forever. The normal reaction would be, I don't know how to do any of this. But my observation today is, ask the AI, figure it out, because if you figure out the appropriate legal wrapper, the corporate container, right? And by the way, I'm not giving you the exact answer, because if you live in UAE or Singapore, it's a different answer. And if you live in North Dakota, it's a different answer. And depending upon who you are, it's a different answer. But what I am telling you is, you go to the web, you fire up your AI, and you start to ask it, it will give you a customized answer. So you can work hard or you can work smart. But I got to tell you, you work smart, you'll go 100 times as far. It'll be a lot easier. 10 years ago, someone would have said, it's just too hard, it takes a year, you know, the lawyers are too slow, they're too expensive, and you would punt. Not this year. This year, everybody ought to be as smart as the most sophisticated, you know, mega billionaire family would ever be. You can have the same legal advice they get. You can have the same efficiency if you decide to pursue it. Lucky number 7. The seventh way to wealth is through citizenship. Choose your economic nexus, domicile where sovereignty respects your freedom. What does that mean to you? Well, it depends on who you are. Everybody's circumstances are different, but I give you a simple prompt. Go to the AI and ask, what are the 10 best states in the United States for people that hold Bitcoin? Now go to the thing and say, why don't you rank every country in the world based upon my intention to hold Bitcoin or invest in it? And then describe your circumstances, and it will give you answers. And I would encourage everyone to think about it, because it's different living in Florida than living in certain other states. We like Wyoming. We have the Bitcoin senator from Wyoming. Thank you, Cynthia Lummis. I like Florida. I'm from Miami Beach, but you have to figure out where, at the state level, at the county level, at the city level, at the country level. Think deeply. It's not about this year. It's about this century. Where are you and your family going to be for the next 100 years? Your grandchildren will thank you. 8. The 8th path to prosperity, the 8th way to wealth. It's through civility. Respect the natural power structures of the world. If you go on safari, don't wrestle with the lions. Don't try to out-stubborn the elephants. You know, don't fall off a cliff while you're taking a selfie on a hike. Respect gravity. Respect the force of nature. I think everybody understands that. But what I would say beyond that is, if you would